some comments first, and then great. Well, thank you, Luke. Thank you, Secretary Bessent. It's great to be here, and it's great to share and be a part of this very big upgrade to America. This is one of the most exciting product launches coming out of Silicon Valley. I've seen a lot over my career. I have to say, it's rare that you get to see a product launch quite of this scale, quite of this excitement, and one that deserves equally big storytelling and equally considered design. As Luke mentioned, the President signed an executive order this summer to stand up the National Design Studio with his initiative called America by Design to improve the way we communicate in America, to improve the way the government presents itself. No more do government websites need to be mediocre. Why? We can bring private sector and industry standard design, usability, technology to improve the way that America experiences the government. Now, when this initiative, if this initiative were to have launched, I'd say 50 years ago, you'd either have to walk into a building and access it or maybe get something in the mail. At the time, I imagine the building would have been beautifully designed and the mail would have been a nice form. The reality is people access the government through websites, which is why the President so strategically decided to invest in upgrading across the government. So with that, I'm excited to share a major update to trumpaccounts.gov. We'll pull the website up right now. So Trump accounts jumpstart the American dream. We're building long-term financial security for millions of children by creating tax-advantaged investment accounts for U.S. citizens under the age of 18 coming next summer in 2026. People will be able to put in their emails, which we've collected a lot so far. There's a lot of interest in this. As we scroll down the page, we give people a glimpse of what this might look like come next summer, where they get to see your child has received $1,000 from the United States Treasury Department. As the Secretary mentioned, this will be invested into index funds. And we have a chance to actually show children what's in those index funds. They actually get to participate in great American companies and see how their gift changes over time. As we scroll down the page, so kids get $1,000 for every American child between January 1st, 2025 and December 31st, 2028. The account's fully in the child's name, and the parents become the custodian until the child turns 18. No contributions are necessary beyond the $1,000, but you can deposit up to $5,000 a year to help accelerate the growth. This will be launching, we like to say July 4th. July 5th is good too. There's 3 easy steps. Enroll your child by making an election when you file your taxes. Second, a financial institution will receive your funds and activate your account. Third, sit back and watch the money grow. You can contribute anytime or not. Big things start with small steps. Every parent just smiled. Jumpstart their financial future. Build your child's financial foundation right from the beginning with $1,000 from the Treasury. Your child has a huge head start on the American dream. As they age and grow up, the power of time in the market. Your account balance will grow over time on its own. Whether you choose to contribute additionally or not, you can do up to $5,000 a year to accelerate gains. Your child continues to grow up. Proven winners, all-American growth. Your child's funds will automatically be invested in American companies. The app and interface let you see exactly what the stocks are that they own and how they're performing. Growing their finances and their education. As they get older, they'll learn about investing and watch their money compound in real time. They'll gain more than just money. They'll gain financial literacy. At 18, Trump account is all theirs. They're free to continue letting it grow, or they can withdraw funds right away to use for things like education or housing, with all the tax advantages of a traditional IRA. Your child's account grows with them, and we modeled out. At age 18, if you didn't add anything else to the $1,000, your child would have $5,800 by the time they graduate high school. If you contributed $250 a year by age 18, you'd have estimated, forecasted, $20,700. And if you contributed the max $5,000 a year, by age 18, that would compound to $303,800. Now, Secretary Bessent gave me an idea. We're going to update later today to show at age 18 and also at the age of retirement. So people will be able to click through this. Thank you for that product idea, Secretary. So people can see the forecast if they hold on to this through the age of retirement. As mentioned, companies are stepping up. The private sector is leaning into this. These are some of the first initial companies. I imagine this page will get very long. We'll have to figure out a way to click and see the full list at some point. And as mentioned, the leadership of Michael and Susan Dell, along today with the announcement of Ray and Barbara Dalio, stepping up from the philanthropic sector. This is a pro-family initiative that will help millions of Americans harness the strength of our economy to lift up the next generation. And they'll really be getting a big jump on life, said our President, Donald J. Trump. We've got Q&A for parents. We think kids are going to be curious in this too, so we've got Q&A for them, and also for corporations and philanthropists. We'll be updating this later today with the news out of this conference, and closing out with the next best thing to watching your child grow up is a tax-advantaged investment account that belongs entirely to them. So this is the big update to trumpaccounts.gov. Thank you.
Absolutely incredible.
Thank you, Senator. It's great to be with you today.
It's great to be with you, and thank you for all that you're doing.
Likewise, likewise. I want to start a question for you because you were an instrumental part of the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill. Can you talk about why Trump accounts were so important to you to get into that bill?
Yeah, look, this is transformational. You think about being a young parent, right? And so many of us remember being in the hospital and having this beautiful baby that you're like, you're going to send this child home with me in about 24 hours. And you start to think of all that you want to provide for your child. And the immediate things you think about are what's right in front of you, you know, diapers and the right car seat for safety and how are you going to make all of this work? But ultimately what you want for your child, for every child, is a chance at the American dream. And look, after the last 4 years of the previous administration, I think all of us, you know, it felt heavy. You know, with inflation and just the cost of life in general, many people felt like that dream was out of reach. And the incredible thing about the working families tax cut is that President Trump said, no, we're going to make good on the promises we made to the American people. We are going to see these parents and help them provide that opportunity. And we want the next generation to be better off as a result of our leadership. And I think there is no more evidence, greater evidence of that than these accounts. And when we're looking at America and the fact that we are that shining city on the hill, everybody wants to be a part of that. And we know that about 60% of Americans are invested in markets, but we know 40% are not. And the thing that President Trump and the Secretary have made such a priority is how do we make sure that that 40% has the same chances that the 60 do? How do we close the gap between the have and the have-nots? How do we create a pathway for these kids, maybe in an underserved community or have not previously had access, to have the ability to achieve that American dream? And that's what this does. And we are going to look back on this moment and see that it not only changed our nation and how we work together, from government to companies to philanthropists, but it is truly going to change lives. And when we see these stories unfold, even in a few years for kids that are under 18, but ultimately these children that are born during President Trump's administration and have this seed money of $1,000 and what it does for them, whether it's home ownership or education or other opportunities, it is going to be remarkable, and it's going to be the envy of the world.
What do you think the impact will be at age 18 for a child who's born during this administration 18 years from now? Like, what do you imagine the impact might be?
Tremendous. I mean, I think, so I have two children, 15 and 16, and you rest assured that my husband and I are going to go ahead and set one up as soon as possible. And you think about just the growth that can occur at 18 or 28 or what could ultimately happen. But you think about a child that is born right now that is going to allow this to grow. And I believe that what we've seen from the Dells and what we have seen from companies already stepped up, that is just the beginning. President Trump and the Secretary have an opportunity to just inspire in a way that we've not seen any other leader be able to do. So I believe that will be compounded tremendously. And I think ultimately, you've seen the American dream slip away. Like, one example is home ownership, and you heard the Secretary talk about that earlier. So previously, people could buy their first home between 25, 26, 27 on average. Now we're looking at, 38 and beyond. What this will be able to do for a down payment or an educational opportunity or skills training is going to change the game. And listen, I want to thank you. I have a question for you. So as a parent, number one, I told you when I saw those little feet up there, I mean, that just took me back in time. And I also thought, how am I going to do all of these things? And then how do you know what to do and when to do it? You have been transformative with bringing products to market, and you have found a way to target the information that is needed in a way that people like me can receive it. Because I'll be honest with you, I am that parent that has to get my kids to help me figure out what to do online quite a bit. And so talk to me about being the head of the National Design Studio and how this project, kind of the framing that you took into account for this project to help parents like me be able to navigate this and actually be able to access it.
Well, thank you for that question. I think this is such an important initiative, and to make it sure it gets the widest adoption possible, as a designer, you want to just make things as simple as possible. Whether that's the messaging, whether that's the interface or the usability of something. If you want to increase conversion rate, make it simple. And so, my company was really built around that. How do we apply great design to helping somebody take a great vacation, take a trip somewhere, connect with that accommodation? And so this is really bringing those same principles here. How do we have really clear communication, really clear, crisp messaging so that the American at any socioeconomic level can understand how this fits into their life and how it benefits them?
Yeah, and I would imagine that, as a new mom or dad in the hospital, or, bringing your child home, that we're going to find ways to make sure that this is front and center, that they are educated about this and can explore and also know 45, 47, what to check when they're doing their taxes as well. And I'm sure that just making it easy to navigate has been a top priority of yours.
That's right. I think, and this is really, as a consumer of government products, as an American, there's so much more we could be doing to tell the story about the great efforts of the government, of the administration, of these kinds of initiatives to really resonate and connect with American people. And so this is really the mandate from the President to the National Design Studio.
Well, and I think that's what makes this administration so different, is we know that you are the expert in how to deliver that. We've seen the success of that, and now we're allowing your talents and vision to be executed in a way that everyday Americans, that moms and dads out there that are thinking about the future of their child are able to take advantage of it. So thank you for what you're doing on this. I think back to a time when my grandfather in the early 90s gave us a stock at Christmas. And so here we were, and my grandfather is a small business owner. He had a hardware store that was my great-grandfather's that had been passed down, and he and my father were building a boat dealership together. And so as a small business owner in a more rural part of the state, in a small town, you kind of sort of think that markets are out of reach for you. When we opened that up, every grandchild, and we finally had ownership in something that was bigger than ourselves, and we would watch it every single year. When we're thinking about these accounts, Joe, this is about access, this is about education, and this is about opportunity. And in with one delivery of this, you give a child all of those things. I know for me, it created an interest in that in a way that I would not have had otherwise. It also a pride of ownership. And so you think about parents all across the country that are going to be looking at these accounts and thinking, what can my child do with this? How is this going to help them achieve? And then the educational process that comes with that access and the ultimate opportunity is going to change lives forever.
That's right. I mean, as a policymaker, you've been at the tip of the spear on these issues, whether it's about being part of the pro-family party. Can you speak more about those initiatives or other things that you're involved in?
Yeah, look, there is no doubt that under President Trump's leadership, the Republican Party has become the party of families. We have become the party of parents. We've become the party of hard-working Americans. And so to get to be a part of delivering on that has really been incredible. The Working Families Tax Cuts, as mentioned by the speaker, have so many things in here for hardworking Americans and people, allowing them to keep more of their hard-earned dollars, making sure that dollar goes further, and creating opportunity like we're talking about today. One of the other things that I was proud to lead the effort in the Working Families Tax Cut was actually addressing the affordability and accessibility of childcare. So it doesn't matter if you're talking to our largest manufacturers or our smallest business on a main street in a community in Alabama. They tell you being able to recruit and retain a workforce is one of the things that they deal with, and one of the issues that they have with that is affordability and accessibility of childcare. We know that there are a lot of people that want to re-engage in the workforce, and if you want to do that, I want you to have that opportunity to help us as we build back America. And we want to make sure that impediment, we want people to be able to have more children and do more things, that an impediment of affordability or accessibility, that we help knock that down. And so in this, the tax code was actually updated for the first time since 1986 when it came to decap, so when Ronald Reagan was the president. So went from $5,000 to $7,500 that parents will be able to have there. And then we updated the CDCTC for the first time since 2001, so an additional $900 for people who utilize that. All of this is real money for parents who are trying to create this pathway for their children. And then we also created an additional 45F, an additional dollars there, moved that to $500,000, really creating an opportunity for businesses to be a part of this solution. We know that just like in line with the Trump accounts, it's going to take everybody doing everything. So whether that's a voucher program or an on-site facility, and then also small businesses for the first time can take part in that as well. So this is transformative because we've heard people talk about affordability of childcare for years. President Trump at this administration and the Republican Senate and House actually did something about it. So we're excited for people to actually get to make use of that as well. A lot of good things coming.
Well, thank you so much for all you're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Britt.